How are y'all liking the new pack? Look, I didn't buy it.
Pardon?
Now, if High School Years came out even like last year, I would jump on it. I wouldn't like pre-order it or anything like that because I never did that. I would definitely get it though on the day of the release or at least like the day after. But that's not where we're at in August 2020.
You claim to have a Sims-related YouTube channel that you allegedly care about? So how can you not get the pack and review it for other people if you allegedly care about it?
Well, that's what they want you to think. But I'm not like other girls. Well, actually I am. I'm pretty basic. Like if you looked at like a group of people, you wouldn't be able to tell me apart. I'm an NPC is what I am. Very generic. Except today. Today, instead of following the hype, I'm following common sense. What common sense tells me is that the game is broken. Just hear me out, please. Now, Game Changers get the pack early in order to review it. Now, I have said this before, and I will say it again. I don't think that Game Changers get enough time with the pack to actually explore the pack. Therefore, sometimes bugs, glitches, they might slip up, and Game Changers just simply might not catch all of them. At the end of the day, it's not their job to do quality management. By the way, this is a quality management team for High School Pack compared to City Livin' Expansion. The team for City Livin' quality management doesn't even fit on the screen, where if you look at the High School Pack, there's like 4 or 5 people there. Not to mention, Simmer Aaron has done some digging and found out that working in testing at EA is not the best experience. Now, some reviews and people's experiences say that pay is way too low, and something that really bothers me, like in general with the world, is that EA, much like other companies, hire contractors instead of actual full-time employees, therefore avoiding paying certain benefits that full-time employees enjoy. In short, what's happening is that EA is cutting back on actually testing the quality of the game, and this is one of the reasons why the packs are so half-assed. Now, I'm not down with supporting poor working conditions, so I don't think that buying a pack that was made by cutting down quality insurance is the right move to support. Game Changers always say and are probably instructed to say, and at this point they probably gladly shout it out, this is not a final software. But what does final software really mean at this point? Because when the pack gets released, bugs are still there. The game is very often even more corrupted and buggy than what it was for Game Changers when they were reviewing like the early version.
Well, that's why there are fixes and updates.
I was promised my wedding stories will be fixed. It was not, okay? My wedding stories is still broken. Like, that pack is seriously almost unplayable, and no one talks about it anymore. Because why? We move on, we forget. Maybe some mods fixed certain issues. In vanilla game, Sims 4, my wedding stories is still almost unplayable, and no one cares. Now for this pack, the high school pack, they might patch it up a little bit, for it to not be completely unplayable. And when I say that, I mean they will make it so that you can actually open the game, that Sims will not age up. Extreme bugs, corruption like that. And I don't want it in my game. And I can say that all I want over and over again, but more importantly, I will not be buying it, because that's apparently the only language they understand. Now, I understand that people say that this always happens, but look, it does, but it also doesn't. There are always issues, as there are with any other product, but since I'd say late last year, things started getting really bad. Not just bugs and glitches, which is unfortunately something that we're used to, which is not right, but I understand that that's been happening for a while. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about game-breaking stuff. And maybe that's because at this point, they're just piling one thing on another without actually fixing the previous issue. So maybe the game just can't handle it anymore, you know? Like the software itself is struggling. I mean, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think it is down in the comments below. This whole world is just a set. There is a lot of space that I will not be able to go to, but the space is still there because, I don't know, why not make it harder for the game to load for what, aesthetics? Yeah, so there's a lot of places where you can't go, and the places where you actually can go, I don't care about them if all I can do there is just stand there, sit there, or like grill burgers. And on top of that, world looks to me like every other world in The Sims 4. To me, it reminds me of Willow Creek. I understand that a lot of people say it reminds them of Moonwood Hill. I mean, you get the point. We've seen this like several times now. Also, love the little carnival area. Now, the biggest disappointment for me was Urban Legend Death. Pretty much what happens is that your sim just tells a story, does this like urban legend interaction or whatever, and then potentially dies from it. I don't understand why they couldn't make it so that, I don't know, maybe like teen sims dare each other to do something that would then trigger the urban legend. For example, you know, like in Bloody Mary, one teen dares another to go in front of the mirror and say, you know, Bloody Mary 3 times. I'm just using Bloody Mary as an example. I would love if it was something more specific, again, made only for the Sims universe, something with lore. So this is just an example. Sim goes to the mirror, chants something, and then something jumps out of the mirror, you know? This would definitely require a new, interesting animation. Animations are a huge problem for me at this point. So yeah, from now on, I also want new animations. If there is going to be a death called Urban Legend, I want there to be a story and a new interesting animation with it. While we're at deaths, in The Sims 4, there is also a death by stink bomb. It's the same thing. The sim just drops dead, you know, like they always do. The only thing that's different is the text. Like, this whole pack feels like a quiz to me. It's just like read it and then imagine it happening, because it's not actually going to happen. Like, you're not going to see it. Going to high school seems a bit boring to me from what I've seen. You can walk around the school, you can go get some snacks, you can customize your locker, prank other people's lockers, talk to Sims, sit in class. Again, animations are just what we've seen already in The Sims 4. There's no interactions during class, like nothing really interesting happens, so you just sit and watch your sim sit. It's like a rabbit hole that you can look into. Something that really bothers me is that Sims rotate during school days. So every day you will have different classmates. For example, Cassandra Goth might be your classmate one day and then not show up for the rest of the year. Now, if we cannot have control over which teens go to high school, I don't understand why can't the game just randomize Sims for that specific save file, maybe, or like certain time period or anything like that, that will make the high school experience feel more cohesive. Something that really worries me ever since My Wedding Stories was released are events, and prom is an event. Now, to be fair, prom seems to work okay. There's nothing special about it, not even when prom royalty gets elected, it just kind of happens. Now, I rarely play with events in The Sims 4 for that exact reason, that it's just like click here to accomplish this goal. There are way too many bugs, way too many glitches. I want to say that they did acknowledge the bugs. I appreciate that, and I seriously do hope that they fix it ASAP. But at the same time, very careful and very skeptical, because that was said to me kind of a lot. What's the thing with already distracting us? This high school pack was just released and we already have this new kit leak. Now, who else thinks that these so-called leaks and mistakes are done on purpose? Who at this point really believes these are actual mistakes? Like, it's so transparent at this point. How come there is this mysterious leak every single time some crap happens in game? How come there is an update that destroys the game? Pack comes out all glitchy and buggy and then, whoopsies, leaked a new kit. What an accident. And man, at this point it's so bad that they're distracting us with kids. Does anyone really care about kids? I mean, okay, I know that some people do, especially if you're on console. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I 100% understand console players purchasing the kits. It's totally reasonable to me. I understand you guys can't get all that CC mods jazz. Just that I don't care about kits. I'm on PC, you know, so I just ignore their existence in general. If everything was fine with this pack, they would give it a few days to like retweet different builds. Maybe Sims people made. Not after the high school one. I mean, the game is kind of broken, so here's a pretty hair. In order for me to buy this pack, is for the game to be fixed. As simple as that. Not with mods, not with tips and tricks and magic and whatnot. No, I will not buy the pack until EA fixes it. I hope you guys understand this decision. I am curious if you guys got it. I'm not judging if you guys got the pack. You have every right to do whatever you want with your money, obviously. I just wanted to jump in here real quick to explain why there won't be high school expansion review on my channel. At least not as of right now. I hope you guys understand this decision, and I will see you in my next video.